friends, it's Shan here. Welcome back to Golf with Shan. In today's video, I'm going to tell you all about my recent trip to Kiawah Island, South Carolina. I was there for 1 week in November and I played 3 of the 5 golf courses on the island. Kiawah is most known for its Kiawah Island Golf Resort that features 5 different golf courses designed by Pete Dye, Tom Fazio, Clyde Johnson, Gary Player, and Jack Nicklaus. I played 3 of the 5 golf courses. I did stay on the island, but I did not stay at the resort. It was a lot more cost efficient, and I will tell you how I did it. Here are the topics for today's video. As usual, timestamps will be linked in the description section if you want to skip forward to any part of this video. First up, let's talk about the golf courses. I played Osprey Point, Cougar Point, and Turtle Point. I made 18-hole vlogs on all 3 of those courses, so go ahead and check those out. Let's start off with Osprey Point. Osprey Point is a beautiful park-style golf course Tom Fazio designed, lots of alligators. This golf course is my favorite style, which means it has lots of water hazards. It's fairly open, beautiful palm trees, definitely tricky, but because this is a resort course, the roughs are very mowed down, so it makes the golf course a lot more playable and you don't get penalized for missing the fairway as much. When I was at Osprey Point, this was the only sunny day that I got. I got a little bit unlucky with weather while I was there, but South Carolina has many sunny days, so I would say don't worry too much. Even if it is rainy, the golf course is drained really well. So anyways, I loved Osprey Point. Next course I played is Cougar Point. So this one is designed by Gary Player, and I highly recommend playing Cougar Point. The reasoning I recommend this one over all the other courses is because this one is more of the marshland low country style, which is very classic of South Carolina. So if you're going to go to South Carolina, might as well play a golf course that looks like it's located in South Carolina. It's a lot more windy than Osprey Point. Could be because it was a cloudier day when I went to Cougar Point, but it was noticeably more windy, a little bit more tricky. The greens were definitely a little bit tricky. This was my first time playing a Gary Player golf course, and I highly recommend. It's a resort favorite. So if you are gonna play one of the golf courses there, I would say Cougar Point is the one. The third golf course I played is called Turtle Point. This is the Jack Nicklaus golf course at the resort. Turtle Point has 3 holes that are along the ocean. So they are next to the ocean, but you can't actually see the ocean from the golf course. There's kind of a barrier. There was one point at the tee box where you can take a little detour if you are waiting for the group ahead, if you have time. Go for a slight little jog. I would say it's about 50 meters out and you can walk onto the beach. I'm not going to tell you where it is in this video. You'll have to watch my Turtle Point vlog because I do share in that vlog. When I played Turtle Point, it was an abnormally cold day. All the locals were wearing their puffer jackets. I would say all other times, this is definitely a beautiful golf course. It's really tricky. As with Jack Nicklaus designed golf courses, if you have any experience with his courses, one thing he likes to do is put bunkers at very inconvenient locations. So wherever you want to take your driver or you want to reach the green, there's a bunker there. Just because that's where you might hit it. The other thing is he loves the link style mixed with park style kind of false fronts around the greens. So you're going to have really tight lies around the greens where you're like not sure if you should chip or putt. Those are things that Jack Nicklaus courses usually have, and it makes it just a little more challenging than it appears on video. The 4th course that I will mention but I didn't play is Oak Point. I don't know too much about Oak Point. It's the Clyde Johnson golf course. From the pictures that I see, it has lots of water hazards. It's also park style with lots of palm trees as well. So I think it's a pretty challenging golf course. It's a little more inland from the ocean. If you're gonna play all 5 courses, I would recommend playing it, but I have not much to say because I didn't actually go. And finally, last but definitely not least, pun intended, is the Ocean Course. The Ocean Course is the most popular golf course. It's the most famous. It's the Pete and Alice Dye designed golf course that's hosted the Ryder Cup, the PGA Championships. It's hosted the best of the best in the world, which is why it is also $600 to play. I did not play. We did go to the premises. It feels very prestigious. It feels like you need to hit a level of society to be there kind of thing. If $600 is within your budget to golf, highly recommend taking a walk. The ocean course is walking only, so no carts there, and you can get a caddy. It's going to cost you the caddy fee plus the service tips. Some general information about the golf courses. First up, cost. 4 of the 5 golf courses, so all of them except Ocean Course, is going to cost you $295. For me, after tax, it costs just over 300, I think it was like 304 US dollars to play each of the 4 golf courses. Ocean Course is the exception. That one is 600 USD before tax, and that one is walking only. So the other 4 courses, the price that you pay for the greens fees includes your cart, and range balls are free. Before your round, you can just walk up to the range. The balls are already at the range, and they are all Titleist golf balls. Rental clubs. People are always curious when you go on vacation about rental clubs. So according to their website, rental clubs are 75 US dollars for 1 round. I think that is before tax. All the clubs are Titleist and all the golf balls are Titleist at these golf courses. So they're going to be good quality, a little bit more expensive to rent per round, but it might be worth it for you if you're only there for a few days and you don't mind too much about playing your own clubs. As for me, I brought my own golf clubs. I actually shipped them using ship sticks. That's going to be the next video where I highlight everything about my experience with ship sticks, ordering it, shipping it, all of it, so stay tuned. But yes, I did bring my own golf clubs to these golf courses. Next thing about the golf courses is to look out for the animals. I do have to give a special shout out to the animals on the golf course. If you are a bird lover, keep an eye out for all the bird species. There are lots of them. They're beautiful and just more than we see up here, which is just annoying Canadian goose up here. But yes, down there, there's a lot more cool birds. Alligators, if you didn't know already. South Carolina is part of the region of the world with a lot of alligators. Be very, very careful when you are on the golf course. Especially if it's a sunny day, they like to come out and play. They'll just be lying in the middle of the fairway. The marshals did tell us that if your ball lands close to the water hazards where there's a little bit of bushy area, or if your ball is just inside, use your foot wedge, kick it out if you can. If it's just in the side of the hazard, be very careful, or I would even recommend to just not go after it because there could be a gator waiting on the side and your ball is not worth risking yourself. So watch out for alligators. Osprey Point near the clubhouse, there was a whole bunch of gators, even baby gators, and they're low-key kind of cute. I mean, gators are dangerous, but when they're little babies, they're kind of cute. All right, last thing to do with animals, insects more so, is to look out for bugs. There are lots of bugs on this island. They're not like deadly bugs, but they're just annoying bugs. There's mosquitoes. There's a few other species of bugs that might bite you. One specifically to look out for are called the no-see-ums. That's what they call it. And it literally is because you can't see them. They are super, super tiny. If it's a really windy day, like when I went, I didn't really have to care about them at all because it was too windy for them. They just float away. If you do go on a beautiful sunny day where the wind is kind of calm, be careful of the no-see-ums. You can get bug spray that specifically say that they repel mosquitoes and no-see-ums. If you get just a spray that repels mosquitoes, it doesn't work on those guys. We have a family friend that has been bitten by no-see-ums and he says it's a lot more annoying than mosquitoes. I'm sure the locals can attest to this. It's not something that'll deter you from going to golf because, I mean, look at these golf courses, but just be careful, okay? When you go to certain regions of the world, you have to be careful of the local species. All right, final thing on the golf courses topic of this video is the cost if you do stay at the resort. Like I said, I didn't stay at the resort, but I went to the pro shop and I asked him, if I stayed at the resort, how much would the golf courses be? And he told me that it costs $225 US if you do stay at the resort. So if you remember earlier, I said it cost $295 before tax for me. So you save about $70 US for greens fees if you stay at the resort. I'm assuming the resort rooms are going to be a lot more expensive than that. That is the discount you get if you do stay at the resort. By the way, if you did stay at the resort, make sure to comment down below. Let me know what you thought. Is it worth your experience? I'm sure it's gorgeous because, I mean, look at the island. Let's talk about what I did. I rented a home on the island. very close to the golf courses. It was about a 5 to 12 minute drive to each of the golf courses. So you can definitely just rent a place on the island without being at the resort. What we did was I booked a beautiful, beautiful rental home on Whimsday, and I believe it's part of Vacasa Homes. I don't know if that's a different Airbnb or if it's an American thing. I've never heard of it before, but a local friend told me about it. So we booked this place on Wednesday. I didn't film too much because they don't allow commercial filming. So this place cost $1,693 for 8 nights, which comes out to about $211 per night, and you can stay up to 4 people. So if you think about that, if you share it, we shared it with 3 people, but if you share it with 4, it's like $50 to $60 a night to stay on Kiawah Island. And I personally think it's a great option if you have a car, if you're renting a car, or if you have a friend that lives locally and you can drive to the resort. It's a great option to stay on the island and play the golf courses without staying at the resort. In terms of renting a place on the island, one thing I will point out is you will get a renter's pass. In order to get on the island, there is a checkpoint. And at this checkpoint, it's like a security checkpoint. There's always 1 or 2 people there, and they basically check if you live there or if you're renting or if you're going to the golf resort. Basically, if you have no reason to be on the island, you can't be on the island. So it's a gated community. So just remember to print out your renter's pass. It says what dates you are renting on the island, and if you just have it on your dashboard when you pass a checkpoint, show them that you are in fact renting on the island, and then you can drive in. Now that we've talked about the golf courses and the rental, let's talk about things to do in Kiawah Island and Charleston. Charleston is the nearby big city. That is where you'll probably fly into. That's where we flew into, is Charleston. And then from Charleston, it's about a 40 to 50 minute drive to Kiawah Island. From Charleston to Kiawah Island. That really depends on traffic. Recently, Charleston's been a booming city and a lot of people have moved in. Traffic's gotten worse. You will have to plan for traffic for sure. There are a few bridges you might have to cross, and if there's a boat that's coming, then you'll have to wait at the bridge for 20 minutes. So there are a few factors, but assuming all goes well, about 40 to 50 minutes from Charleston to Kiawah Island. Like I said earlier, there is a security checkpoint, so it's very difficult to get taxis and Ubers to the island. If you do, we hypothetically asked how much it would cost to get us from Kiawah Island downtown for my mom's birthday at the restaurant, and they quoted us $180 one way. So I would say rent a car, drive yourself, or just stay on the island. But Charleston is such a cool city to visit, so if you are going to Kiawah Island, I recommend somehow getting yourself to Charleston and checking out the downtown area. Just know the transport is not the most convenient. All right, things to do on Kiawah Island, and then we'll talk about Charleston. Kiawah Island, aside from obviously playing golf, you can go for walks, you can go for a jog, you can rent a bike or bring a bike, go biking on the island. It's an absolutely gorgeous place. The homes are so beautiful, generational wealth-like homes probably. It's like the Hamptons of the Carolinas. You can go fishing, you can go crabbing. If you have a license, do things legally, please. Yeah, there are so many things you can do. It's very peaceful, and you'll notice on the roads, the oak trees grow like this. It's just gorgeous. Speaking of oak trees, I think it is just outside of Kiawah Island, but you can go visit the Angel's Oak. It is this massive, massive oak tree. It's like the tree of life type of thing. Just so impressive and beautiful to see. This is like a phenomenon of nature, and they did fence it off, but you can go for free, take some photos, see the tree, feel how small you are as a human being on this earth. This tree has been alive way longer than all of us, and it's just impressive. On Kiawah Island, I would also recommend to visit Fresh Farms. This is a plaza type thing. There are shops, restaurants, bars, a few things. It's just like a walking plaza area. It's super cute. It's super nice. We did go shopping a little bit. It was around Black Friday, so I got some deals going. Lots of fun. Definitely visit Fresh Farms. That's also where the grocery store is, so you don't have to get off the island to buy groceries. You can go to Fresh Farms. All right, let's talk about Charleston. We only spent 1 day in Charleston just because I was like golfing and doing other stuff. in downtown Charleston, we went to the park, to Rainbow Row. We kind of walked around King Street as well. So just that whole area, it's probably like an hour walk. You can definitely do it in one day. If you want to take it slower and actually go shopping, then maybe give yourself a little more time. Definitely recommend checking out the waterfront, King Street, Rainbow Row, the French Quarters. It's all very unique and very cool to see. A few food recommendations. First up is Hall's Steakhouse. We went there for my mom's birthday. It's a super nice steakhouse, 2 floors. The bottom floor actually gets super busy. It's almost like a bar hangout area. Lots of people. People in Charleston really dress up and they all look beautiful. It's just a really cool bar. There's live music inside. And then the second floor is everyone having dinner. So we booked a table on the second floor, had some amazing steak. If you're into steakhouses, definitely check out Hall's. Second thing I will recommend is the Royal Turn. I think it's on John's Island. It was a restaurant where we went and had a bunch of oysters. They had this pork belly dish that was really good as well. So recommend doing that one. It's closer to Kiawah than downtown Charleston. And the third thing is Simply Seafoods. This is a small little shop. You might even miss it, but I will link it down below so you can add it to your Google Maps. But it's this local couple and they run their seafood shop and they have the seafood broil that comes in a giant like tin tray. So delicious. Highly recommend. Also order some of the sides. They're really good. Like the shrimp and grits, especially, so good. All right, that is a wrap on my recent trip to Kiawah Island and Charleston, South Carolina. I really hope this video was helpful to you, especially if you are considering going to that area and playing some golf or just going to visit. I hope this video is helpful to you. I know some people commented in my vlogs of the golf courses on Kiawah Island that they were interested in checking them out. So hopefully this video gives you a little more information. If you found it helpful, make sure to hit that thumbs up button for me. Again, comment down below if you've been to Kiawah. Let me know what your thoughts are. Thank you so much for watching today's video. As always, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!